Welcome back to the Tortured Poets podcast.
Happy Tortured Poets Department Week to those of you who celebrate.
Yes, to all of those who celebrate. I'm not sure if that's us quite yet, but
I'm not sure. I haven't listened.
Yeah, she hasn't listened.
I've been quite busy, so
she's been busy
on my own time.
She's been busy touching grass. But no, it's quite exciting because this is the first Taylor Swift album released in our tenure as a podcast ostensibly about Taylor Swift,
True.
I suppose. And
a lot of Taylor Swift news on the ledger.
Oh yeah, because the reaction to
this
it.
First off, this is not the review.
This is not the review.
The review will come.
It will. It will come in time.
Let us cook.
Let Jenna listen to the album. I've listened to the album. I've listened to the first half a couple times. The second half,
we've deigned to listen to both the base album and the anthology. So
I've listened to the anthology at least once, but I'll hold my tongue on my thoughts on the album generally for the review. I'll say.
Yeah, generally I've only seen like a few lyrics and heard like 2 seconds. So
was it
I'm going in with a completely like blank slate.
Was it the 2 seconds that I sent where I pointed out that one section of Can Do It With a Broken Heart sounds almost exactly like Cupid by 50/50?
It's that, but also the Fortnite music video trailer she teased.
I haven't seen the Fortnite music video yet. I can't imagine that it matches the music at all, though.
Look, I mean, Midnight's also had an aesthetic that it did not match.
I'll say that, you know, I think I wouldn't exactly say that the Midnight's...
It was very broadly appealing pop for the promotional photo shoot that she went with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's completely a disconnect between the music and the, visual aesthetics for Midnight's. I think it was more so a quality gap.
I knew immediately what you're gonna get at.
Yeah. I think Tortured Poets Department has... I don't know if it has a quality... I think it has a similar quality gap. But I don't think it's tough to say because I think the music is better than it was in Midnight's. But I think that aesthetically it's like a little not as strong. But it's tough to say. Aesthetically,
right.
Visually, I mean. That's what I mean.
Let's get into it.
What's first up?
So it was leaked early.
Oh yeah, it was leaked early, and the reaction to the leaks were extremely negative.
Yeah, it was very Midnight's deja vu.
Oh, I forgot that Midnight's leaked.
No, I don't know if it leaked, but Midnight's had a very divisive reception upon release.
Oh, divisive, sure. I feel like the reception to Tortured Poets has been like almost maybe it's like I'm not seeing the massive Swiftie reaction, but I feel like almost nobody.
I think there is more of a build up to Midnight's, like she hadn't been on tour. It was her first album since she had released like 2 Taylor's versions in the past year. So like she was kind of due for one.
Yeah. And
also the hype, considering her last few projects had been very well received.
Oh, for sure. She was kind of on a hot streak until Midnight's. Midnight's is kind of like the point in which it's like, okay, Taylor is like not working at the same kind of level that she was for like the past 4 albums.
She wasn't locked in the same way.
And she still isn't really all that locked in.
Okay, rolling back around. It broke the all-time record for most illegally downloaded album with 174,000 downloads.
Did it really? How did they track that sort of thing?
I don't know. But I do find it funny, considering how much Swifties will talk your ear off about how you should only listen to Taylor's version because she gets all the profits and whatever, stuff like that. Same people illegally downloading her album.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think there probably is a rift in the Swiftie camp in terms of the leak situation, because I do think there are some members of the fan base who are like extremely anti-leak, but others, they're more laissez-faire about the whole situation.
Yeah. The Cut released an article on April 15th titled "Ending a Friendship Over Taylor Swift."
I saw that. I didn't read it though.
Here, I'll send you one section of it. So her friend was not a fan of Taylor Swift. She said she just couldn't get into it. And then the writer insinuated that, or not the writer, but the person in question insinuated that it was some kind of internalized misogyny.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I did read this actually. And then
she was like, "Yeah, I like other female singer-songwriters, like Fiona Apple, huge mention.
Our favorite.
Let me be her friend, actually.
Massive Swifter artist, Fiona Apple.
Which is crazy that the friend responds with that they were pick-me musicians. Famously pick-me artist, Fiona Apple.
No. Here's what pisses me off about the fucking Swiftie calling Taylor Swift a Fiona Apple. Because they don't even know. They don't even know about the fucking Fiona Apple discourse lore where, people were, arguing to day in and day out on TikTok and Twitter, being like, can men really understand or even fully appreciate Fiona Apple's lyrics? You're gonna call Fiona Apple a fucking pick-me? Are you fucking serious?
I think Fantano should have deleted his review, not because it was bad, but it just created so much discourse from one comment under it.
That comment is literally the end of the end of the game. I can't take it.
Somebody can fairly criticize somebody while also having blind spots.
No, exactly. Sure.
And the craziest part is he gave it a 7.
Yeah, he kind of liked it.
He liked it. Yeah.
I don't know if he fully, I think there are problems with his Fetch the Bolt Cutters review, but to say that, to say that he gave it a negative review because he's misogynist or something is an insane thing to say.
Yeah, this entire article kind of reads like an "Am I the asshole?" post. Genuinely. So here's where I think the friend becomes a little bit of an asshole. She said I have more expensive taste in music than you, which is totally fair to lose your patience over, and that is not a nice thing to say.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's a fucking. I mean,
That is sucks.
Well, that's kind of where the Swifter mindset is we can look at both of these people and recognize both of their failings. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay if you like Taylor Swift, but you shouldn't be weird about it. But also, just because you don't like Taylor Swift doesn't mean you're super you don't have to be pretentious about the whole situation either.
But here's the other thing, is that she just couldn't get into Taylor, so she didn't not like her. It was just that she's not for me.
Well, yeah,
which evolved into my music is better than yours.
Well, I think when you make that connection is when that sort of happens. Like, it's the there's nothing wrong with just not being able to get into something, but when you're like, when you then like expand that into making like broad claims about like the validity or the value of somebody's individual taste, that's where I feel like it kind of becomes toxic.
See, I think this was a good situation to end a friendship over. And I think it doesn't come down to Taylor Swift. I think it comes down to how she kind of shows the divide in these two friends' values and how they view their friendship.
Oh, sure.
So it's more like it was like the inciting incident rather than the cause.
Yeah, like there's no shot that this is the only bump or argument or whatever that they've ever had.
And one of them says, there were other things, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. So there were other things. It was just this like argument just ended it.
Yeah.
So I think this article is ultimately a little misleading in how it frames it. Because it frames it as ending a friendship over Taylor Swift. But generally it's just about the argument that followed.
Well, sure. And I mean, honestly, the language got like super loaded. I mean, like calling Fiona Apple a pick-me is like Jesus Christ.
It got very yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Okay. Here's the other post I had bookmarked.
Okay.
From Twitter account The Democrats.
Wait, can you say
Proudly in our protecting freedoms era.
Oh.
I'll send it to you. I don't know if we want to put this on screen for the visual
we can put
viewers, but
we can put that on screen for sure.
It's something that needs to be seen to be believed.
I'm kind of speechless because I don't really know what to think.
It's insane.
On one hand, on the other, why is Obama there?
It feels like a very weird inclusion, just in the fact that he's like not actively involved in the party. But also Hillary Clinton isn't either. So like,
it's
what are you doing here? Okay, so Joe Biden is front and center. Makes sense considering he's the current Democratic president.
Checks out.
Democratic in like the most loose terms.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris makes sense because she is the vice president. I don't know how to pronounce that. Harrison, Nancy Pelosi, Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, Doug Emhoff. Jill Biden makes sense because
First Lady, sure.
Obviously, First Lady. Gretchen Whitmer is kind of a weird inclusion.
Isn't Gretchen Whitmer a character from Mean Girls?
No, Gretchen, the name Gretchen is one of the Mean Girls.
I think she's like Gretchen Wiener is her name.
It might be. It's so funny. And then there's AI PhD tracker that just put how much money they receive from Israel over them. Which is insane.
Yeah, shout out to Palestine.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. It's funny, not funny that like, why is Hillary Clinton getting $3.5 million from Israel? She wasn't even president. She never got into office.
Well, she's still. I mean, she knows people.
He's
So
over 10 times Obama's amount, and he was president for 8 years.
yeah.
What the hell is she doing?
You have to wonder.
Actually, what the hell are Hakeem Jeffries and the hell is Hakeem Jeffries doing to get 1.2 million, nearly 1.3 million?
Yeah, I don't know.
He doubled Pelosi,
I wanna.
which is shocking because Pelosi is Speaker of the House.
Yeah, one has to wonder how the what the incentives are, or like how much people these people aren't in office or whatever. But I wonder how much it's like a
Yeah, it's just very telling of uh, the very unaware. I know it's a word to use. I'm trying to think of the right one. Liberalism of the modern Democratic Party. Just post Taylor Swift's graphic design, replace it with the Democrats, and people definitely like this. There's nothing that could go wrong with this post.
Taylor Swift is popular. We're not. How do we make ourselves popular?
I'm gonna send this to you. Can you confirm this? TikTok. Me after Taylor Swift mocks Christianity in the tortured post department.
I don't know what they're referring to on the album, but
I've not seen anything about this.
it's they're probably talking about the song "Guilty as Sin." I think so.
I'm also seeing they're a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, well, I mean, they're gonna be especially sensitive to it or whatever.
Oh. Gazing at me starry-eyed in your Jehovah's Witness suits. That's so funny to get annoyed over that.
Wait. Staring at me starry-eyed?
The smallest man who ever lived. I think it might be an anthology track.
No, that's on the first half.
Is that okay? That's so funny for a Jehovah's Witness to get
In your Jehovah's
upset
Witness
about.
suit.
Bro, you were a Jehovah's Witness.
I don't.
You were the universe's punching bag.
So apparently it's because Maddie Healy usually wears a suit, so I think it's probably more at the expense of Maddie Healy, who I guess is kind of an edgy atheist, rather than mocking the Jehovah's Witnesses themselves for wearing suits.
Can it not be both?
I don't know. I mean, I think the Jehovah's the Jehovah's Witness, they're kind of getting it. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of like, say what you want about them, but the suits are a nice touch.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything more to add that we won't get to in the review?
Yeah, I just want to say that everyone needs to chill out, I think. I don't know. People are kind of just being over dramatic about the whole situation.
There is the controversy of the out of context news screenshot of them talking about the tortured post department with a small text of like what was going on in the Middle East. I think it was Syria and Iraq.
Oh, yeah, or yeah, Jack Edwards' famous book YouTuber he went on. I guess he went on a local, like a news station at the end of like for like 5 minutes at the end of like a 2-hour segment. And he was on the news, and somebody took a photo of it, and I guess he shared it on his Instagram, but he figured that it was kind of embarrassing for him to be posting himself on the news while there was a blurb at the bottom about U.S. officials confirming that Israeli missiles had hit Iran at that point. So he like kind of scribbled it out with the pen tool on Instagram, but people took it as like him like censoring Israel's actions or whatever.
Yeah, and then it got worse because Jack Antonoff reposted that image.
Jack Antonoff reposted the image?
On his Instagram, yeah, I think you can go see it. Unless he deleted it.
I thought that was Jack Edwards who reposted it on his Instagram.
Might be. I think I might have been fed misinformation.
No, I don't think it was Jack.
We love spreading misinformation.
It was not Jack. You're thinking about the wrong Jack.
We love spreading misinformation. We would never correctly inform you.
This fact has been verified by true pirates, apostles or whatever. Acolytes? True pirates acolytes.
True Swifter acolytes.
True Swifter acolytes have fact checked this information.
Acolyte is such a funny word.
It's so funny.
It shouldn't be, but it just is.
I'm not even really sure what it means.
Mama, let's research.
I'm not gonna research it. I'm just gonna let it feed over my brain. I'm gonna think about it. Oh.
One who assists a member of the clergy in a liturgical service by performing minor duties.
Oh. Well, I'm not exactly sure what a Swifter acolyte is in that context then.
Look. Alright. Anybody can be an acolyte if they want to.
It's true. No, it's fair.
But, suddenly everybody knows and likes Chapel Rowan, even though that was most certainly not the case like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, she's like blown up. It's kind of crazy.
Who's lying?
How's it blown? Like what's the deal? Like what was the?
She released Good Luck Babe, which got popular on TikTok.
Goddamn TikTok! It's always fucking TikTok.
It's TikTokified Chapel Rowan.
Although, I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
the Twitter gays were already all over her.
Well, sure. That's kind of crazy. I feel like Good Luck Babe, listening to it, I wouldn't predict it would be a hit. Because, like, she's kind of singing, like, fucking... You know, it's, like, super Kate Bushy. Right?
That's fair. But also, keep in mind that Kate Bush had a song from the dead for a #1 hit, like... 2 years ago, once people got obsessed with Stranger Things again.
Yeah, sure. But you would think that that's more based off like the context of the TV show. But I
mean, look, Master of Puppets had a major moment in Stranger Things, and it didn't reach that height of #1.
Sure. But I just mean that obviously,
and there's a lot of radio play and appeal for the Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are revisiting her work, so...
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that, you know...
The people thirst for Kate Bush 2.0.
But that's the surprising part to me. That I wouldn't predict that, like, that the appeal for that sort of sound would stick around forever. But I guess it kind of did.
I think it's also her aesthetic.
Yeah.
She has a very marketable aesthetic.
Sure.
hard to describe, but it's very unique.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
And if we
for the record, I'd rather her be a TikTokified than be forced to suffer the fate of Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, certainly.
That poor woman. She doesn't have 5%,
Well,
like 95% gay men at her shows.
Well, Carly Rae Jepsen got a TikTok hit, off of The Loneliest Time.
Did she? Wait, what was it? That was title track. That makes sense. It was a good song.
But it didn't really translate to like any other sustained sort of thing.
No, it didn't, unfortunately.
I feel like the streets are saying that Dua Lipa is going to go the way of Carly Rae Jepsen.
I don't see that happening. She has a lot of female fans.
I don't mean demographic wise. I mean
demographic wise.
Not demographic
You
wise.
mean
I mean like, just like success wise.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either, but
she's had many more hits than Carly Rae Jepsen ever had.
Sure, but people were just noting that the new rollout or like album cycle seems to not really have the exact same sort of like boom that Future Nostalgia did.
In fairness, that album that was irreplicable success.
Sure.
I think Dua Lipa, that was her sophomore album. And she does not have the established like base. And she also took like 3 to 4 years to release this new album.
Yeah.
So I think it's a timely thing.
Well, I mean, Todd in the Shadows has a running theory of musicians that there's some artists who have such captivating personalities auras that like their being is so like expressible that like realistically no matter what they drop they'll be huge and they'll be around forever and ever, and it's just like
Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Rihanna.
Yeah, exactly. Even like The Weeknd or whoever.
Yeah, sure.
There might be argument that I think that like the new Dua Lipa album, the new Lipa material, I think is pretty good. But
yeah, I think it is too.
There might be something to say to the fact that, maybe it's just like it's not really speaking to the moment in the same way.
Yeah, which is fine. Not everything has to.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dua Lipa's, by like going the way of Carly Rae Jepsen, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if going forward, especially after this album, that her base becomes more consolidated across like into like people that like are especially into the music that Dua Lipa provides in a more like hyper fan base oriented, like not hyper fan base, but I guess mean like niche sort of thing, instead of where I feel like Dua Lipa was like in a very mainstream, like across the board space.
See, I think the difference is she released very good singles last time. The singles are pretty good this time. I think the difference is she captured that kind of 80s nostalgic kind of sound that was like coinciding with like Blinding Lights by the Weeknd, that whole 2020 phase of like 80s nostalgia just fueling the charts.
Mm-hmm.
That was insanely huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think she kind of rode like the success, not intentionally. She just kind of benefited from being an act that was doing it well. So I think that's the reason it's replicable is time and place.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, exactly. For sure.
So I don't think it's a problem that she's going a specific way. I think that she was in a position to succeed more when she released Future Nostalgia.
Yes. I think something I think the question has to be asked, like, yes, she was put into a position to succeed, but like, how do you put yourself into a position to succeed consistently? Because I wouldn't say that it's impossible to do that. I mean, I would say like
I think you have to create such like a magnetic persona that transcends your music, and it's not a knock on her. I just don't think her persona is really super established.
Well, then
because she's not a super, like, she doesn't share everything with the world.
Exactly, and I think that kind of what plays into it.
And like in the internet age, you really can't have like very secretive superstars. It's kind of all or nothing.
Yeah, no, for sure, totally.
Okay, so let's talk about AI.
Oh God.
Oh God. Every headline regarding AI is worse. You would have thought SAG-AFTRA, the WGA strikes would have put an end to that, but they agreed to shoddy deals. So, no. Yeah. But also, they would have done that anyway. So first it was Late Night with the Devil, with 3 images that appear. Mm-hmm. I think it's a bad decision, but hearing how the production was and how like skin tight their budget was, and how they're just grasping for everything they could, it does seem like a movie with a lot of love put into it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen stills of it, and it looks very well made.
Yeah.
So I think I can let them off the hook for that, especially because that was before the stink was made about it being an issue. Also, and then recently A24 was exposed for releasing AI posters for Civil War.
Was that confirmed? Because I don't, I was looking at the posters and it doesn't really seem all that obvious to me.
It's not obvious, but I've seen a few breakdowns of more of the posters and the other posters. I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel like they look AI generated.
Okay.
I think there's credible proof in some of the things that are going on.
Okay.
I even see things that aren't pointed out in the post. Like there, in one of them, there's like a stoplight that does connect to like down to anything. It's just like A24 kind of established their brand as like propping up indie films, being in it for the art, not for profit. But if you're a capitalist company and a capitalist system, you don't deserve the trust of the public.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. It was an issue to hold A24 in such a high regard anyway. I was never a fan of that, but I think people are waking up to that now. That they're just as fallible to this. Unfortunately, they were not the worst offenders. because Netflix, because streaming services fucking love their true crime documentaries.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is probably the worst thing that's come out.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the case. But it was about Jennifer Pan.
Mm-hmm.
It was called What Jennifer Did. A super fucking cringeworthy name for a documentary. I've seen people saying they've seen better YouTube videos than this documentary. So the average production quality. But Netflix used AI-generated images to present her as happy and confident before she was convicted of murder. That is horrifying. That is disgusting.
Well,
and I think it's the worst offender because this is a true crime documentary. And if you're not telling the truth, there is a clear issue.
Well, that kind of gives the game away on quote-unquote true crime, right? Doesn't
they
it?
totally gave the game away.
I mean...
It's all about how you frame it.
It's like true crime for probably, I mean, most of its existence has, like, been, you know, more so dedicated to, like, sensationalism and, like, entertainment.
Yeah, I only found myself enjoying things that would be classified as true crime when they actually, like, are, well, they're sympathetic, they're very well informed, they have a point in talking about it.
Yeah.
It's just a distinct difference between informing versus entertaining.
Yeah. Well, it's the difference in intent, right? I'm not necessarily saying that it's bad to, you know, approach making a documentary or a podcast or an article or whatever, you know, with the purpose of, like, storytelling or whatever. But it's like it's the intent that goes, like, behind it. And, like, why are you telling this story exactly? And, like, what value are we gaining from it? You know what I'm saying? And I think it goes to the root, because I don't necessarily even think this is totally on true crime makers. I honestly think that this applies doubly to true crime enjoyers, because I think there are a lot of people who mindlessly consume this stuff for, like, comfort entertainment or whatever, who are, like, you know, just, like, fully comfortable on, like the deaths or whatever of people being completely exploited for like, these stories or whatever.
So I think we have another bad use of AI. So last week we were talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef, and everybody else's beef with Drake.
Oh yes.
So Drake released a second diss track called Tailor Made Freestyle, featuring AI verses from Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
That shit is so fucking corny, man.
Tupac is really disrespectful, but Snoop Dogg is really fucking funny because he's still alive and would probably do it fast.
Well, he probably he but the thing is that he has to use AI.
I think using AI for Snoop is giving the entire game away that you're just fucking lazy.
Well, it's giving the game away that you're fucking full of shit, because Snoop Dogg obviously wouldn't record a verse on Kendrick.
Oh yeah, not against Kendrick, but, like, he's so chill. Like, if you asked him to do a verse for something, he'd probably say yes.
Oh yeah, because he'll do verses for everybody, but Drake probably doesn't want him. Drake probably didn't want to ask Snoop to do a verse against Kendrick, because he wouldn't do it, because, I mean, Snoop Dogg literally, I mean, he was one of the guys who brought Kendrick up.
Oh yeah.
He's on fucking T-Pab.
So that, I hope Snoop Dogg just releases the biggest fucking diss on Drake for using AI of him.
I hope he doesn't, because, I mean, he's like 52 years old, and it's fucking 420, right? So he's got better things to do than deal with this fucking bullshit.
That's true. But next week, there's also the fact that I think Drake is setting himself for more flame because he used AI voices.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Especially for a dead man. Like that's bad.
Yeah, and people were comparing what he did on to what Kendrick did on Hard Part 5 and Mortal Man, but they're just like, I mean, they're obviously completely different things.
Yeah, it's like the fake. And they're used with artistic intent.
Yeah.
And that's not AI. That's, I mean, it's AI in the sense that it's like a deep fake, but like that technology has been around and has not caused issues.
Well, I mean, it's been causing a couple issues at least, but no, you're completely right.
Well, yeah, I mean in the same art in the artistic sense.
No, sure, yeah, sure.
Obviously, in terms of like the obscuring the truth, it's been well, it was really projected to be more of an issue than it ended up being.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Well, I think there just hasn't been the drive to use it as such, because people were like, well, technically you could fake like security footage of somebody doing this or that, and it's like, yeah, you could, but like, why would you? It seems like the incentives weren't there.
Yeah. But I think that the way that Kendrick used the deepfakes in the Horror Part 5 was very evocative.
Yeah.
And it was speaking to the message that he was trying to convey, while also being respectful and to Nipsey, and also not also for the more controversial figures, more as like an artistic expression rather than an endorsement.
Yeah, for sure. Drake is invoking Tupac and Snoop to like, honestly, as like a form of like violence against Kendrick, which is definitely not Kendrick's intent.
Sorry, incredible timing. As I was scrolling the timeline and saw exactly what we were talking about, you have to see this. Kendrick using deepfakes.
Oh, yes. Oh, I blocked that person. That's funny. I don't know why I blocked this person. They were probably...
Why did you block this person?
I don't know. They were probably being really annoying one day, and so I blocked them.
That's fair.
Although I
never block people unless they severely piss me off.
I block people if I don't follow them and they're like, Weezer fucking sucks, and I'm like, okay. I don't need to see your tweets anymore.
Damn, snowflake. Can handle of people not liking your favorite. I'd say is I would probably block somebody who said Fiona Apple sucks.
I blocked somebody who said Fiona Apple sucks today. They were getting into an argument in the with a Zelda Hallman, and I'm like, why are you arguing with Zelda Hallman about Fiona Apple? Obviously, they didn't know who Zelda Hallman
don't know.
is.
Oh my god, wait. We did mention the Fiona Apple album sometime.
Oh, yeah, some point.
She's working on it.
She's working on it.
We need to immediately know when this album could come out.
I think my guess is 2032.
I need to please send it to me, Rachel.
I need Fiona Apple to pick up the pace, okay? Because she's not young. She's She has some years. Okay, if she's gonna do this music thing for the foreseeable future, she needs to like not have like 20 songs out before she bites the dust. Okay, because it's getting kind of serious.
Yes. I was gonna say she was 42 or 43. She's 46.
Yeah, she's 46. I mean that's like near the that's when Ryan not Ryan Nolan Ryan stopped pitching. So I mean, come on.
Look, I mean, Paul McCartney's still touring.
It's true.
There's a different lifespan.
It's true. He's sounding kind of rough nowadays, though. But I mean, I love Paul McCartney. I kind of never hate that man.
How many songs does she have?
Oh, I think she's got to have like 50.
13 unfishable cutters. 24. 36. 46. 56 on her albums, but then 57.
Probably like 60 something in totality across like all.
Yeah. 58.
Oh, I have 58 liked songs in my Spotify.
I have 60 liked songs.
Okay.
Yeah, she at least has 60, at least.
At least 60. I mean,
yeah. So, look, at least she has 4 albums.
She does. 5 albums.
Yeah. 5. Look, some albums only had 1. Some artists only had 1 before they died.
No, it's actually true. Taylor Swift has like
rest in peace, Jeff Buckley.
Rest in peace, Jeff Buckley. You deserved so much better in this world.
Yeah.
Shaking my head. I hate when girls die.
It's such fandom.
What rapper tweeted that?
I don't remember. Hang on, I found a 61st song.
A 60-verse song? Or a 61st song?
Yes. It's on compilation album Rave on Buddy Holly with John Bryan.
Oh, yes.
Wait, hang on, I found 62, 63, 64, 65.
Is that including collaborations?
Those are where she's the primary artist. Wait, hang on. Holy shit, Jeff Goldblum has released music. I need to hear what Jeff Goldblum sounds like.
Okay, wait. I Wikipedia list of songs recorded by Fiona Apple. 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. So 84 songs listed.
Yeah, more fake fans.
Well, I think that they've
been exposed.
Well, they're kind of digging, I feel like. There's probably like an odd 20 that are like included on like random albums here and there.
That's fair.
Random covers for like a soundtrack or a compilation or
Look, I'll take anything I can get.
I might have just miscounted as well, but
apparently she is on Johnny Cash's album. She was on 2 Johnny Cash albums, actually.
Oh, the American series? I think I knew that. I think she played piano.
That, and she did I actually noticed that she was featured on a father and son cover.
Yeah.
With him. It's good.
Yeah.
Same year she released Frosty the Snowman, mind you.
Her cover is so good of Frosty the Snowman. It's really an essential track in the history of Christmas music.
She also, I need to, I need to go through this list and listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite afraid. How did I not know that she did a song with Phoebe Bridgers?
You didn't know that?
I'm literally like such a huge Phoebe Bridgers fan.
Wow. You really don't listen to any new shit at all, unless it's like, like 3 weeks old.
It was from 2019. I wasn't even listening to music like that back then.
I think she's a recent
How
one.
old was I in 2019? I don't want to think about that.
All right. Wait, are you talking about 7 o'clock news? It's the Simon and Garfunkel cover. That's pretty good.
Wait, what?
It's so 7 o'clock news / Silent Night is
Yes, that.
it's a Simon and Garfunkel
Oh,
track.
wait, yeah, that was all her like the Christmas song she does every year.
Yeah, it's one of them. But it's a Simon and Garfunkel track where they sing Silent Night in 2 parts along with the 7 o'clock news, like kind of in the background. It's kind of an evocative piece. And Phoebe Bridgers and Fiona Apple, they did their own version. I will say though, in the original Simon and Garfunkel, they were using a real clip of 7 o'clock news that they recorded. But in the Fiona Apple and Phoebe Bridgers version, they got a guy to like recreate the 7 o'clock news or whatever. Like it was not actually like a real recording, which kind of makes it worse. But
You're so nitpicky sometimes.
I'm not nitpicky. It's actually less evocative if it's like, I don't know. I think it's an important detail.
I'm so tired. I literally got back today from a 4-day trip.
How was the trip?
It was a good getaway.
Awesome. What happened on the trip? I mean,
it was for a competition for a club.
Nice. How well did y'all do?
I lost, but I was a semi-finalist for one of the categories.
That's good. We like to have the Swifters represent.
Yeah. I got to do a semi-finalist interview, and I did some of my trademark yapping.
The trademark yapping.
Yeah. Anyway, Torture Pose Department review will be out this week. Look for it. Please also watch till the end of the video because you guys never do that.
Yeah, y'all never do it. Fuck y'all.
Y'all never watch through.
Y'all never listen to the podcast anymore.
The retention rate is diabolical.
The retention rate is evil. Or maybe we're just boring. But that can't be it.
That can't be it. We're fun. I think we'll save our deeper Taylor Swift Torture Pose Department thoughts for later this week. We're gonna leave it at that.
Jenna, where can they find you?
They can find me at Fiona Apple with 1A on Twitter, or I guess now X. Where can they find you?
They can find me on x.com. Thank you, Elon. At Lucas_copy_1.
That'll be it for the Stitcher podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you and goodbye.